Allen Iverson was just like a larger than life figure. And so you just basically like, he talked about Michael Jordan having that aura, like that glow. Like he had the glow when I saw him, like he had the aura. It was like, oh, that's Allen Iverson. But he was super funny. And so he just brought a calmness to it. Like, I'm like, man, this dude is hilarious. And I remember 3-Man Weed, they threw me a lob and I windmilled it. And he was like, oh, this little motherfucker crazy. But let's see how long you gonna be doing that. And I'm like, what you mean? I'm gonna do this for the rest of my life. He was like, nah, bro, like year 4, you gonna stop doing that.
Yeah, you start hearing like old heads like, why aren't you icing? You're like, I don't need no ice. They're like, no, you need ice, bro. Like,
sure enough, like year 3, 4 come around, no, we laying everything up unless we in the game. Like, yeah, like, so, but then going to the first game, I never forget the first game. We playing Boston. And it was against Paul Pierce, who was, like, I had been watching Paul a lot. And he was talking. He always talked trash. And then Antoine Walker, who I spent some time with in the summer because he was in Chicago.
Yeah, Chicago.
So
he was a man in Chicago. People don't forget.
The man.
You hang out with Jordan, or Jordan let you around him, like you were that dude.
He had like he wasn't like D Rose in terms of like
there, bro. He had everybody.
He was like D Rose in Chicago.
Yeah. And he had every.
Well, within our community, the black community, he was like a D Rose figure. Yeah. And so going up against him, and I think you just want to prove to people like what you can do, especially, you know, East Coast bias in college basketball coming from Arizona, so folks don't really know. But I remember making my first shot. I made some big plays defensively. I scored a couple buckets. Like I had a really good game, and I remember like I spoke about this before. Nike rep came up to me after the game, was like, "Hey man, you really good."
You made a 3.
He was like, man, you hit your first 3, man. Oh man, you can hoop. You're gonna be around for a long time. So it was good to go through that in my first game, but like it was no jitters. None of that. I just felt like I was just prepared.
You just mentioned Iverson's star power and everything. What was something crazy that you saw from the time kicking on Iverson where you're like, yo, that's a star and, you know, a franchise player? Like, was there anything that you took from where you're like, this is going to be me?
Well, one thing he had happen to him a lot, I knew it never would happen to me. Like, people would just be waiting around at the hotel for him, like just for him. And like obviously I played with the Warriors, and no one could wait in the hotel because we had to clear it out because it got crazy.
Yeah.
But like people would be like lined up in the hotel, like he had he was like that dude. Yeah. And I think how humble he was around us was really cool. It's like he never like big timed anybody. Like he was more of a kid than, you know, just like the rest of us. And so I think it put a lot of things in perspectives. Now we all have our days, but he was very consistent with me. I always say he was the one that was always telling me, hey man, don't ever say nobody else good. Like I remember saying like Rip Hamilton is like really good. Like I was a big Rip Hamilton fan. He was like, man, you better than him. And so like he just like the confidence part he gave me, and I took that. Like every time I stepped on the court, like I talk about it winning Finals MVP. Like in that whole series, I'm walking on the court like, man, I'm about to get 30 tonight. I really can do what I want on the court. Like I can control the game, and I just kind of took that confidence from being around him so much.
So we fast forward to after your rookie year to you know, after what was it, like your 3rd year, 4th year, you led the league in minutes, right? Mm-hmm. And then you're up for a big time contract. Talk about your first time re-signing.
Yeah, that was.
And what you remember from that as well?
So I remember from signing is that I didn't sign my extension. So my extension, they offered me 60. I turned it down. And one thing I don't know, but this is something that AI taught me. He was like, man, my rookie year was fun. Like my rookie year was probably my favorite year because I just had fun. Like you just traveling playing basketball, no pressure. Like AI taking all the pressure and he taking it all off me. Like it was just easy. Like we just had fun. And then Chris Webber, who was like my idol, that's why I started playing basketball, watching MJ and the Fab Five. So like I'm just in kiddie land, you know what I mean? And so as you grow older, AI is like, listen, man, they gonna change. Like don't read the paper. Because I used to read the paper because that was just my routine. Don't read the paper. They gonna turn on you. You gotta be ready. Like they gonna turn on you at some point. I'm just like, huh? Like it can't be that bad. I turned on that contract and I went to a comedy show. And I see Spank. Spank is like improv, and like he just on the stage talking crazy. And Spank was like, who, the Iguodala? That man turned down $60 million and just goes on like a 10-minute rant. And that became like normal, just like, I'm like, man, I can't even go outside. Everywhere I went, like it was just brought up, like just going to get a cheesesteak.
it.